这件球衣呢，我们在商品部也有贩售我们这个女王主题中女王粉的这个主题球衣。那如果大家有兴趣，可以到我们的商品部进行这个购买的动作。OK， 那我们呢，当然少不了我们这个大家长，我们这个 Lululemon， 他们这个特地来这个赞助我们，相信我们这部分交给我们的彭尊。
那现场呢，大家进来的时候，右手边应该看到蛮多 Lululemon 体验的活动，有4关可以做体验。那他今天呢也准备了75000元的礼物，要准备让大家带回去。所以等一下呢，你们的热情呢，就会让我们一起在新庄掀起粉红浪潮。
哇哦，掀起一阵粉红浪潮。这个粉啊，我真的必须特别讲，这个粉色系真的是非常的好看。我原本以为会是亮粉，想不到这个粉就是跟所有的衣服都非常的搭哦。好，那今天呢也会有我们这个 Lululemon 的中场活动，就是我们这个中场小游戏的部分。那相信呢，大家如果想要参与的话，等一下我跟彭尊会在后面丢出10颗球，那接到球的朋友们，到时候务必要到我们的商品部去做确认的动作，才能参加我们的中场游戏。好，那我们呢今天也有非常多的赞助厂商一同参与我们本次的主题周。那我们呢首先向大家介绍我们球场周围的韩国彩妆代表品牌，我们的 Attitude。来照顾我们现场的每一位所有的女王们。此外，台湾奥迪在我们新庄体育馆的大门也展示我们帅气外表兼具我们功能性的车款，我们 RS e-tron GT。
那另外呢，也刚和国王结盟的 KK Bus， 只要呢现场入手 KK Bus 3人或6人的家庭方案，就有机会带走等值超过1000元的商品以及周边产品。
好，那接下来呢，在我们球员正式进场之前啊，我们要来宣布今天的2楼解锁任务。非常恭喜各位，昨天有来现场的朋友们，我们昨天的2楼解锁任务是成功的解锁，因为我们有达成我们的100分，突破我们100分。那我们今天的解锁任务，基本上我觉得这个也是送分题了哦
，20次助攻，
没错，因为我们新北国王队最讲求的就是默契以及这个团队合作。相信我们这个新北国王队的助攻，只要超过20个，我们2楼的解锁任务呢就会成功的解锁。下周只要凭票根带着1位以上的女性，就是我们的女王啦，同行呢，我们就可以享有8折的优惠。所以球迷朋友们，票根留着，让我们一起为我们新北国王加油，一起拿好框，一起逛了 City。
最后呢，要特别感谢我们赞助商不断提供最棒、最有趣的活动，来力挺新北国王，一起推广运动精神。包含在新北有众多据点的 Global Mall 环球购物中心，以及国际知名量贩品牌 Costco， 以及和我们现在戴口罩长期联名的药师健生活。谢谢你们。
没错。好的，相信我跟彭尊都讲了这么多，大家应该是非常的期待。在我们的新北国王，希望我们今天可以2连胜之前，当然少不了这个啦啦队的加油。首先，让我们用最大的爆动声欢迎我们新北国王啦啦队 Chris 所带来的开场表演。
Attention please. If dancing is not your thing, please step aside. In 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Can you make a dip, 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 dip? Can you make a dip, 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 make a dip? Here, baby, I just got one question. Can you make a dip, 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 make a dip? Here, baby, take a sip, take a sip, take a sip, lick a lip, lick a lip. Yeah, baby, I just wanna see your G-string just disappear. I just got one question.
Baby boy, you stay on my mind. Baby, baby, baby.
大家尖叫声给我们的 Chris， 非常非常精彩的开场表演。好，紧接着呢，我们要欢迎的绝对一个我们新北国王啦啦队 Chris 还不够。迎接我们昨天的2连胜，那我们紧接着要欢迎是我们新北地区以坚强实力闻名的辅大竞技啦啦队。辅大历年呢战绩辉煌，几乎年年都有金牌入袋，更是我们大专杯与全国赛的常胜军。让我们用最大的暴动声欢迎新北之光为城堡的国王们所带来的精彩表演。大家不要吝啬你们尖叫声好吗？哇！
J62. The blaze is getting crazy, setting fire till I'm mad. The flames got us glowing, so there's no holding back. This is war. Do you understand? Just confidence. Get out of that strong, have thick skin. No one knock you down like a rolling pin. My fault, I'm not leaving alone. It ain't my fault, you keep telling me ain't got time right now. Fix me without watching on your side. Brighter than a flare, we're seared on your heart. The branding is ignited in a flash from the start. Taipei, Fusion, Catholic University. You don't really want that black boy. You don't really want to feel them shots. I'm a deep boy, I'm a black boy, I'm a deep boy, I'm a hot boy. J62, Jaguars. Yeah, that's right. We don't accept defeat.
Whoa.
This is LJU. Jaguars are here to take over. Haters, be ready, 'cause you're gonna be better. Can't stop this tour, don't be so attacked. I want you to follow me all over the world. You don't even know it's what you do, babe. Follow me all over the world. Never ever treat you the same again. Follow me all over the world.
们战绩辉煌的福大啦啦队，大家给他们一点热烈的掌声，谢谢他们。
今天对战组合由飞行军团桃园领航员对上主场新北国王，双方球员已经准备就绪。首先为各位介绍客队桃园领航员篮球队。 0号 Robinson， 1号 Jordan， 3号吴家俊， 5号施延忠， 6号关达佑， 7号林耀宗， 12号李家康， 13号陈玉瑞， 22号黄宏汉， 28号施敬尧， 30号陈冠全， 45号温令华。 69号卢俊祥，代理总教练严行书，助理教练杨一峰，科焕维，总经理陈信安。接下来把目光移至上方大荧幕。 接下来进场的是新北国王 ，Number 2来自台湾师大苏喜林世轩。Number 11国王探花左手怪杰 KJ 洪凯杰。 Number 3来自国立体大小米陈俊南。Number 7观众哪爱看小丽林立人。Number 10禁卫军弓箭手微笑射手简佑哲。 Number 1侧翼高炮台 Mason 李盈峰。Number 50来自政治大学小豪曾宇豪。Number 50禁卫军门神 Q Quincy Davis。 接下来介绍先发5人 Starting Five。Number 9潜能后场指挥官新北飙风玫瑰李凯燕。Number 34禁卫军大手 DeAndre Liggins。Number 33最强G92老板杨新志。Number 40汤马斯小火车 Thomas Wills。Finally Number 6禁卫军士官长 新北的阿美族战士杨志美。总教练阮马祥，助理教练陈时念、张可群，球员发展顾问许浩成，体能教练张崇熙，球员经理洪志虎，防护员邱博凯，数据分析师林振宇，总经理毛家恩，执行长陈信生。
好的，双方球员握手完之后呢，麻烦请我们的客队领航员的球员们先回到我们的球员席，也请我们的新北国王队请先留步，我们要来中间进行这个大合照的动作哦。来，新北国王的球队们，麻烦帮我们到中间集合。OK， 麻烦帮我们站在 logo 上，感谢。好的。好的，那我们这边呢，再一次邀请我们路人梦我们的林承哲林经理上来，和我们的现场球迷朋友们一起打声招呼。好，这边更正一下，不好意思，我们这边呢先教大家我们的应援曲，还有我们这个进攻以及防守。
是的。
好，这边呢，所有球迷朋友们，打开你们的拍上，我们准备要来为我们的新北国王队一起加油。首先呢，我们要教的就是我们的防守，我们的 defense。好，相信大家都已经非常熟门熟路啊。OK，DJ 上，让我们一起捍卫我们这座王城吧 ！Drop the beat， defense。Defense, defense, 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 defense。没错，这就是我们的 defense 防守。那接下来呢，我们要教大家就是我们的进攻。Let's go Kings！ 好。DJ 上，让我们。
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, seniors and youth. It's game 62 of the Plus League regular season. Welcome to the English broadcast here from the Xingzhuang Gymnasium in New Taipei. The participants in this matchup will be the New Taipei Kings against the Taoyuan Pilots. The Kings, fresh off their win against the Braves, now are a half a game back in the standings, of course, percentage-wise a little bit further than that. Now, after defeating the fourth-place Lioneers, Pilots are eyeing their climb into the playoff position. I'm Ryan Chen on the English broadcast, joined by Kai Shu once again.
Hello, Ryan. It's good to be here.
There's our standings you see on your screen. The Braves still with the top spot at 13-7. Kings falling behind at 11-6. The Pilots in this game 6-11, excuse me. And the Steelers, after their victory yesterday, now are 5-14. Still with a sliver of hope to try to make it into the 14 playoffs. On the Mandarin broadcast, we have on the left Aaron Yang Zhenlei, and on the right 菜包蔡晶晶。球迷朋友们，你们找到了英文转播，要看中文的转播，菜包也郑磊哥的转播，按中文的转播连接就可以了。These two teams last matched up game 56 Saturday in Taoyuan. Kings got an early lead. Pilots tried to mount a comeback, but the Kings rolled them in the fourth quarter. but everything might be thrown out the window. The Pilots have a new head coach right now.
Yeah, that's right. Last time we see the Pilots, after Coach Tony was let go, we saw a completely new team from the Pilots. They play fast, but they also play much more comfortable with each other. You saw a lot of like two-man like game, especially in transition. You saw Devin Robinson being more of a facilitator than just a pure scorer only. I think the dynamic was different. It was new. Players brought a lot of like new energy to the game. So I think this is going to be a really good test for them, especially against this really, really good Kings team who just beat the #1 team in the league, the Braves, yesterday. So it's really going to be a good match.
We've been rolling the highlights of some of our golden era players, including Beast, scoring 16 points in the 4th quarter, but no match for Amigos. 2 dagger threes, and Quincy Davis, of course, pitching in there with some of his newfound range from the outside beyond the arc. We've talked to Davis pregame, and let's see what he had to say.
My opinion for this situation is that we really want sports to be more priority for the youth generation in Taiwan. So for parents to be able to see Zimwending, Zijie, Winston, all these guys be able to still play at their golden age, it really puts pressure on the parents to say, okay, you guys can pursue sports because there is a career of making good money and being very popular and making a brand for yourself. And it's not just, oh, you're not going to make it to the NBA, so, your career is over. So these guys actually still playing the game, they're making a living for their family. So it really puts a lot of pressure on the government, on the parents to allow their kids to play sports because, it's fun. You can see the energy here with the P.LEAGUE. Thousands of fans are coming together, families are coming together. So it's very important to see these guys actually dominate at their age and bringing us all together for good fun.
Words from Quincy Davis, number 50. Last season was a Pilot, now a member of the Kings. And they have been playing him, sometimes stagger with their import center time as well, but sometimes they play them in tandem.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, that's the value that Quincy Davis, brings to the table. He's not an import. He's a Taiwanese player. He's a local player. So he's able to stack with an import in the 4th. And his capability is without question, right? Even though he's not as young as he used to be, but he still has that, that touch of the game, that rebounding ability, that, that veteran leadership. His value is just so huge for the Kings.
General manager for the Pilot, Chen, receiving Tony Zhen Zilong's resignation letter. And now Johnny Yan Xingsu will be the interim head coach. They're taking a photo with the general manager of sorts, the CEO of the Kings organization, Chen. 3 players on your screen came from the Taoyuan basketball team last season with the SPL. It includes number 5 Fly, Zhi Yanzong, Li Jiakang, and Bill Wenli Huang. During their 3 consecutive losses, did not play an average more than 8 minutes, combined only for 7.6 points, but last Friday against the Lioneers, it was kind of a strategy of the multiple. Here's Bill pregame.
我们几个替补球员上去，然后对比赛有正面的影响，对自己的信心提升非常多。对啊，因为其实我们大家也都明白，就是我们在排名上，我们就是一直要追着前面的那个球队去朝他们前进，就是去想办法追着他们，然后甚至超越他们。对，那其实我觉得现在球季还剩下1/3，还不算为时太晚，就是我们还有非常非常大的机会，就是一直会追着前面的那个名次这样。因为其实像去年我们在福原的时候，我们其实也是一开始也是输很多球，然后到后面我们才调整回来，然后拉出好几波连胜。但是其实那时候有点为时已晚，所以最后我们还是很可惜，差1场没有进季后赛这样。那我觉得现在跟去年这样比起来，我觉得我们现在还有很多时间啊，所以我觉得我们就是赶快把我们的士气整个拉起来，然后看能不能拉一波连胜出来，然后追着前面那个名次打这样子。
Still expressing that the bench guys get a lot of confidence, being able to contribute to their wins. They might be down quite a few games in the standings, but they still have a hope. And they still have good chances for making it into the playoff spots now, taking that last game against the Lioneers. One of the keys is Devin Robinson, high usage rate, all more than 30%. But against the Lioneers, it's like a slight tip down to 29%. He's the leading scorer, leading rebounder.
Well, Ryan, confidence is key. This college team, on paper, have a deep enough talent pool to compete with the top dogs in the league, in my opinion. In the first half, they severely underperformed, and in my opinion, confidence was an issue. You know, they just weren't confident enough to really, you know, try to compete with those top dogs. And I feel like they've played a lot better recently. So, you know, that's definitely something to look out for.
Lin Chenzhe, the executive in the Taiwan region of Lululemon's operation. That's why the Kings are in their special pink theme jerseys, having ended a long 8-game road trip. He throws up the tip. Before we get things tipped off, we have to read the starting lineups for the teams. On the pilots from left to right, Hayden, Shi Jingyao, Robinson, Manimal, Ling Yaozong, and Jordan Tolbert, number 1. For the Kings, it'll be Kyle Li Kaiyan next to Amigo, DeAndre Liggins, Yang Xinzi getting another start, and Thomas Welsh right now going to jump center. Header officiating, Long Yunhan, the crew chief of the 3-man group today. Kings were a little bit early with all their operations. Now the referees and the broadcast is ready. Tip is up. And DeAndre Liggins brings it to the backcourt. That's how the game gets started. Thomas Welsh with a mid-post. Pass tipped away. Robinson will collect the steal. I've been loving this horn set recently. Now there's a holding foul. Yang Xinzi starting ahead of rookie Hong Kai-jie, KJ, a lot of the times now, at least this weekend. And so, but I looked at the box score in the end. Hong Kai-jie did play 23 minutes to Yang Xinzi's 15.
Yeah, that's right.
Now Robinson, too easy, one-handed slam. That's how the scoring gets started. After the pick and roll, Liggins working with Welsh on the second attempt. Call to the baseline, finds an angle, lays it in.
You know, I think starting Yang Xinzi is really beneficial to the Kings in some ways. KJ has been a really, really good shooter and perimeter defender, but what Yang Xinzi brings to the table, you know, the tenacity, the toughness, the rebounding, I think it really supplements Thomas Welsh really well.
After another lay-in by the Pilots, Kyle and Welsh, continuous pick and roll, now this time with the mid-range. Kyle had foul troubles in yesterday's game, but sneakily almost had a triple-double. Now Tolbert shoots his mid-range, bouncing out.
Yeah, Ryan, that's what good players do. You know, you might not be able to fill up the stat sheet that much, but you still bring a lot of value to your team, whether that's through rebounding, through facilitating to your teammates. Kyle did all that.
This time he misses. Tied at 4. Robinson and Tolbert in a pick and roll. Tolbert goes down. Robinson missing the mid-range, and there's Ling Yaozong, his first stat of the afternoon. Io missing his jumper. Now a quick post-up. Foul. No bucket, though. 2 free throws for, man, we just mentioned, Yang Xinzi. Got a mismatch on Hayden and attacked it quickly.
And I like that, Ryan. Just going aggressive early on. Seeing the mismatch, Liggins immediately feeds the ball to Yang Xinzi, gives him the opportunity for 2 free throws.
The 3 Pilots we mentioned in the pregame were 3 of 5. The others being Wu Jiajun, who was an assist leader in the SBL last season. He's got the lion's share of the starts, no matter if it's Coach Tony or Coach Johnny. Backdoor to Robinson, close the angle, no, he got it. That's another and one.
And that's what he can do. He's a really, really athletic, really good at scoring around the rim. And that's what you want to do. You don't want to see Robinson hovering around the mid-range, handling the ball too much. Instead, you want to see him free roam and get those, like, you know, dunker spot kind of score. Easy 2 for him.
Making the free throw, it's 7-5. Another screener roll. Liggins, sitting out guarding him. Colbert, Yangshin's a bit coming well.
And wow.
Now it's Hayden's turn to Ayao, floating through the middle, missing another shot. Cold start for the top domestic scorer for the Pilots. Amigo behind the back, now his jumper, no. Wells, quick rebound and quick putback.
No, the two guys that normally don't really start on these teams, Yang Xingzi and Manimal Lin Yaozong, both showing a lot of impact early on.
Underneath the basket was Hayden, short with that shot. Kings now trying to expand on this 2-point lead. Kyle with a rare post up. No foul call, and the shot clock did not reset. Liggins on the handoff. Taking the tough mid-range. Gonna get the elbow bump and go to the line. Not a good start for number 28, Si Jingyao. He played mostly good defense, that contest.
Yeah, he just tapped on his elbow. Really, really unfortunate for Ayao.
Liggins makes the first free throw. On the season, DeAndre Liggins averaging 15 points, 5.8 rebounds, 4.4 assists. Pretty good overall performance. Some might say he's not a lethal enough scorer, but in the Kings system, they don't need their imports to have a lot of volume scoring.
Exactly. This is a team that's really, really well-rounded. They don't overly rely on one person. And Liggins being a defensive specialist and a really, really good spot-up shooter, he just has to do his job. That's it.
Tolbert will try to catch and shoot. Will bounce out. That start for the Pilots. 3 for 9 from the field. As Amigo working on Manimal, gives it up. Wells on the catch and shoot, leaves it short. He made a couple in yesterday's contest. Backdoor to Robinson again!
Oh.
He pulled that one all the way, almost to the restricted arc.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Another backdoor that goes the wrong way as Tolbert jumps the pass, but goes out of bounds. It will stay with the Kings. Wu Junshan will come into the game as we get another look.
Like I said, Lin Yaozong, who doesn't necessarily get that much playing time on this team, made so much impact just so early on in this game. That is crucial to his confidence and the team's confidence as a whole.
Last season, he had troubles finishing around the rim, especially in the Dreamers playoff series, but if he can make passes like that, certainly a lot of good value added.
For sure.
He switched off on defense as Wu Junshan is trying to check Amigo, taking the deep three, getting the bounce, not getting the bounce, and Robinson tracks down the rebound. Buzz in the arena right now. Tolbert can't make the tough layup. There's Manimal with an offensive board. Robinson's three, no. King's got to do a better job boxing out. Hayden to Manimal, trying the finger roll, leaving it out. Kings with a quick counter. Kyle got Hayden to reach. Can't punish him though.
You know, even though Manimal, Ling Yaozong missed that shot, but that play was exquisite.
On the rotation, Taoyuan with his three, no good.
That was a very good setup for him to score. Just unfortunate he couldn't put it in.
Now they got cross matched up. And double Amigo spins out of it. Shinsu, the benefiter here, down low. From my view, not a scripted play, but sometimes those are the hardest to defend.
That's right.
Another horn set for the Pilots. Robinson going right, getting stripped. It's Kyle. 2-on-2. Not going to take advantage of it. Shinsu down low, able to put it in. So the Pilots stopped the initial fast break, but didn't match up. Hand off a double track. Wu Xunxiang missing the push shot. 3-on-2 for the Kings. Amigo goes middle, getting the foul and getting the roll. So consecutive possessions where the Kings take advantage of the fast break, and the TV timeout giving the Pilots their break. Our first break in the action. We'll be back after this.
Ready? We drop the queen!
Yes, yes.
Nobody pray for me. It been a day for me. Yeah, yeah.
The new Taipei Kings off to a quick start, up by 8 in this one. Currently on a 3-game winning streak. Their last loss came to the Pilots in that Tuesday game we broadcasted in Taoyuan.
Yeah. You know, from yesterday's game to today, we saw how valuable Kyle is to the team. Not just that he's the main point guard of the team, but also that he has great defensive instincts, and oftentimes he can lead team from, you know, down from 10 to, you know, tight up game just by his defensive efforts. He has good instincts on the defensive end, and, you know, he's fast. He pushes the ball. When he goes downhill, he's almost unstoppable. And when, you know, just like that play, when he went downhill, past Amigo, that was an easy one for him.
Kings on the winning streak defeated the Steelers, then the Pilots, and then yesterday beat the Braves. 3 substitutions for the Pilots includes number 6, Kwan Dayo. We call him Killer Kwan from the imports, giving him that nickname last year. Also in number 30 is Pong Pong. Tolbert spinning, dishing it to Robinson. His elbow jumper is good.
Yeah, for Devin Robinson, that is his money shot. He is incredibly accurate in that particular area. But the problem is you don't want him to dribble to that spot. You want to try to set him up.
Sushi dishes to Amigo, running low on time. We'll have to force one up, getting iron. Actually pretty close on that one. Not good motion though. Kings have their substitutions, Mason and Sushi, who did not play in yesterday's game. Liggins with a rebound will lead things up court and poked away from behind. Now Robinson, head of steam, gives it up. Lu Junxiang's three in the corners, money.
And that is how the Pilots should play. That is what, you know, the coaching staff envisioned the Pilots would be playing. They play fast, try to get a lot of turnovers, and get, you know, transition corner three. And Lu Junxiang, obviously being one of their primary, you know, scorer off the bench, possible Sixth Man of the Year candidate, he is very, very crucial to their success.
Goes to the basket, but Thomas Welsh is there. Be out of bounds off of the Kings. Well, that's the kind of rim protection Welsh provides, but previously, Lu Junxiang, the modern basketball shooters to the corners.
Yeah, the Pilots, they are dead last in plus league in terms of three-point shooting, both in production and in efficiency. So having a guy like Lu Junxiang who can shoot the lights out is really, really huge for them.
Only 32% on the season, but one of the best shooters as Guan Dayo muscles his way to 2 points.
And what a play by Killer Quan. That was a hard-nosed, hard contact, I don't give a rip layup.
Oh, Sushi is trying to get it back. Will end up coughing it up. He's impressed the coaching staff after being a little bit of a surprise pick in the draft. Tolbert working his way to the left side, lays it in. And now we have a timeout on the Kings. The Pilots run, tying the game up at 18. The Kings only scoring on that one free throw. Get another look. Guan Dayo, too strong for like-sized guards, but he is one of the thickest coming out of NTSU, the Guoti University, where they're known for their weightlifting program. And meanwhile, Tolbert, with his finish at the basket in this first quarter.
Yeah, if the Pilots ever want to be, you know, become one of the better teams in the league again, they absolutely need Killer Guan Dayo to step up. He came into the league as a more defensive-oriented kind of player. His defense, you know, there's no doubt about it. It's solid, but it's his offense. Can he consistently shoot, you know, 30 to 34% in wide open threes? You know, can he successfully become the point guard that they sorely needed? You know, those are big questions and big responsibilities. But you know, I'm confident he has that shoulder to carry those responsibilities.
And of course, as we noted, substitution for the Pilots kind of changed things up. But Amigo and Kyle coming out of the game, and immediately the Pilots make a run of their own.
That's right.
So the strategy of basketball is a lot of times comes down to the personnel you have on the floor, but at the same time, you have to balance that against the rest they get. We see the Lioneers have some of their troubles heading down the stretches at times. Sometimes the Steelers, a lot of the times in the fourth quarter, will have big fallouts. But a 48-minute game is no joke. It's way different than a 40-minute game that a lot of the guys are used to in their student-era basketball.
Yeah, if you look at the Pilots game, a lot of times when they get on to a run, let's say like a 10-0 run, oftentimes it came off of like turnovers from like trapping. You know, they get those like strip steals. But they need to figure out when they don't get those turnovers, they don't get those transitions, how are they going to score in a half-court setup? You know, those are big questions for their staff.
Number 11, Hong Kai-Jek coming in with Quincy Davis as Sushi had that one batted out of bounds. Steven Tendrinan was sitting on the bench, but Coach Marchand saying he won't get a sub in.
He's just standing there. Should I go in? Should I sit?
Looks like a little bit of a miscommunication, or maybe Marchand not fully aware of the rules that the score tables insist the players sitting on those chairs next to the table, they have to come into the game. Well, he'll come in for Ligon. Century net. Getting a long stint in yesterday's game. Quincy Davis trying to go at Pong Pong. His right hook is in. The other way, Afe Sienzo is in the game. As Pong Pong takes the tough turnaround fadeaway in Davis's face. Out of bounds off the Pilots, but we've seen a number of matchups where Pong Pong's not afraid to go at former teammate in Quincy Davis.
Right. I mean, Pong Pong's skill set, his shooting touch is undeniable. It's great. It's right. It's there.
Still from behind, Robinson. Another one-handed slam. This one a little bit more mild.
A little bit more mild, but nonetheless, great dunk.
He's trying to be the floater, causing some turnovers as Afe gets his hand on it and swirls it almost out of bounds. Sushi saves it. The Kings don't take advantage of the scramble. Taijie working right. Will get the foul on Guan Dayo, who seems a little bit slow on those dribble drives. Going to be the fourth team foul by the Pilots.
You know, Pong Pong is not afraid to go against like bigs or even imports. But I think for so many times, Pilots fans have dreamt about Pong Pong being even more aggressive, right? We know he has those low post skills. We know that he can be a great big, but he just needs to be more aggressive, be more assertive on the offensive end.
KJ makes the first free throw. I mentioned yesterday, played 23 minutes, 6 points, 6 rebounds. Missing the second though. Guan Dayo putting the moves on Sushi. Wu Jingxiang driving right, floating it off, and Pong Pong a little bit too hard with a putback. Now Steven juking out, Tolbert getting the roll. Wasn't the prettiest, but 2 points for him as we have a whistle in transition.
Last game, we saw Coach Marchand play Steven quite a bit.
You're getting a little extra word from the Kings bench. Pilots will inbound. 20 seconds on the shot clock. Guan Dayo from the outside rattles in a three. Pilots with a 2-point lead. Let's see what the Kings have for an answer. They are playing on a back-to-back, so it'll definitely affect their rotation. Mason picks up the dribble and throws it off of Wu Jingxiang, who tried to go coast to coast.
Yeah, that was a great shot from Quan. You know, even when he wasn't shooting as well, he still had that confidence to continue shooting those open shots. And that's the kind of confidence you want and expect from your rookie prospect. Not rookie per se, but your young prospect. Excuse me.
Mason missing the runner. Now Wu Jingxiang pumps fakes, then takes the three. That one's out. Junan getting the Davis screen, going to the basket. No good, and the hand tip drill to the Pilots. Early run, Afe able to get the and one. Running with abandon are the Pilots now. They can't do that, rotating a lot more guys than they previously did. And against the Lioneers, 12 players played on the floor, 10 guys scored, and it's a lot easier to score one-on-one when you're right underneath the basket.
Right, and that's the style that they like. They like to go fast. They like to make the game feel disorganized. That's when they're in their element.
Now Quincy Davis can't hit the one-handed three-quarter court crazy hook shot. So we'll go to the break. Pilots up by 4. One last week in the month of March, the Plus League. We'll be back after this.
我们口罩务必确实的戴好。我们的防疫人人有责，保护自己也保护他人。我们口罩戴好戴满就对了。感谢各位的配合。那我们呢？等一下中场的时候也会有我们联盟的小游戏，希望等一下大家可以跟我们一起参与，把我们的目光放到上面的大荧幕。现在我们来为我们自己戴上我们的王冠，来让他挥个手 ，Alright， 来，再来，
找到你们了，找到你们了，没错，很好 ，nice。
不用怀疑，就是你们
国王的朋友们，这也可以。
这个牌子有贴心啊
，Hello，
这位美女就是
我们 Lululemon 的好伙伴，戴上你们的王冠，
上电视啊！哎呀，等了这么久，终于轮到你了。OK，He's back。
来，弟弟，
来，小朋友们，没错，好可爱啊！哎，帅哥，哎，又回到你们了，是不是 ？Hello， 美女们，看看镜头，跟镜头挥个手。
One last week of Sanya Bulan, the March Mayhem by the Plus League. Leave a stream like on the last stream of the month on the English broadcast. Fans participating in the stadium camera with the new Taipei Queens, the cheerleaders for the basketball club here, coming out of the second quarter. The same personnel that ended the first quarter, interestingly enough, as we see some of the Pilots fans sitting behind their team in the bleachers in the grandstands. It's not a very large group, but they are very dedicated. Taoyuan Ray, fresh into the game, number 13, inbounds it. Now Pompon will take the deep three and hit. Immediately with a big reaction from that side of the floor.
And like I said, you love when Pompon being aggressive on the offensive end.
And now a backcourt violation. Taoyuan Ray applying the pressure. And no matter what you think, right now the Pilots, the more aggressive team, and right now Lee Kai-eun, Kyle will come in for Sushi.
The problem with Pompon early on in the season was that even though he would get open looks from beyond the arc, he wouldn't shoot them. And that, in turn, makes him not a threat outside and makes his high post facilitating kind of useless. So being able to knock down that shot was huge.
Their screen doesn't go, but Guan Daiyou,
what a shot!
With the 32-footer, beating the shot clock. Well, I was all excited for the point I was going to bring, which 5 Kings turnovers in the first quarter, 9 points off those turnovers, a really high conversion rate. But right now, the 3-point barrage is the biggest problem for the Kings.
That's right.
Albeit kind of unexpectedly. Pompon puts his hand in there and gets the steal. And Afe down court again. Ends up getting his shot blocked by the rim.
Yeah, the Pilots, despite being one of the second worst team in the league, they are the best in the league in terms of creating and forcing turnovers.
Kyle starting to break, giving it up. KJ able to fling it out before the 3-second call. Pretty simple driving kick, and there's Kyle kind of settling the waters for the Kings. The bad pass by Taoyuan Ray to nobody goes to the corner.
The problem with that is it doesn't matter how good you are at forcing turnovers. If you are making those turnovers at the same rate, at the exact same pace, that kind of evens out things a little bit.
For context, the Pilots have a net positive 3.6 turnovers. If we use some football terms, they give it up 15.2 times per game, and their opponents give it up 18.8 times. And that one, just a lack of concentration.
Yeah, a lot of sloppy basketball being played from the Kings this game.
Deep possession, and Pom Pom wasn't quite set for it. JJ was the defender, kind of holding him up.
Which, I'm not trying to take credit away from the Pilots, but the Kings are not handling the ball really well in the first quarter and up until now at least.
And the number one guy on the ball usually is number 6, Guan Dayo. Steven with a cross matchup, go to the lane, and with a beauty, floats it in from the middle.
That was a beauty indeed. Usually they would put up a double screen for Kyle to above the break and then give it up to Amigo to the wing. That was usually Amigo's spot.
Now Manimal trying to chase down, gets the block. Quincy Davis pokes it helplessly out as Steven commits the foul in transition. The referees might let him go without the U. Get another look at Steven getting the space with the off-footed floater. That's impressive.
Yep,
but on
absolutely
the transition,
beautiful.
He did touch the basketball before the chest contact, so it is fair for the referees to not upgrade that.
He sure did.
Well, they'll go to the monitor and give another look, but from what I saw, he did touch the basketball, or certainly made a very good attempt at the basketball. Usually we see guys who have absolutely no chance. And that's kind of the definition of fouls to the basketball.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And not an individual. So they keep it at a normal foul, and the coaches will get hurried out of their quick huddle.
And usually when player intentionally foul players from transition, they usually foul like a little bit higher. They put their hands a little bit above their waist to just stop the momentum fully. So from that play, from that angle, from that replay, it just looks normal to me.
The collision wasn't a small one, but nothing too serious as Kyle almost gets another steal. So you're ready with a few bad passes in this one already. Pom Pom driving on Quincy Davis. Will get the layup.
He's nimble like a ninja.
And then Country Nan crashing into Pom Pom. Nothing there as the Pilots turn it over on the other end.
A lot of collision this quarter. I feel like that's from the Pilots having a completely new energy from, you know, February or like even January. This is a completely different team.
That time, Ling Yao Zong providing the screen for Pom Pom, who's usually down there doing the dirty work. Mason leaves it off for Q. Off the try again, missing the first attempt and the second. Ref scramble for the rebound. Robinson called for the foul on the reach. Well, the referees trying to get things a little bit more settled now. .43 left in the second quarter.
You know, there's a fine line between playing hard press defense and being overly aggressive.
That time Quincy Davis, deep catch but couldn't finish.
Davin Robinson, being the Pilots' #1 guy, has to learn, try to not get into the foul trouble.
Takes out the handoff, then leaves it short on the other end. Numbers for the Kings. They get a foul call, though. Quincy Davis was all over the Pilots' interior defense. Another look at this one. It'll be free throws for #1 Mason Lee.
You know, we talked about Quincy Davis, his value to the team, and that was one of those things that, you know, you don't necessarily see it on the stat sheet, but those screen assists, you know, those subtle things that he does on the court contribute to winning basketball.
Mason scored 9 points in yesterday's game. Big tribute to his team. Now the Pilots want to call timeout, get reorganized. Right now up by 7. We'll go to a break and back with the action after these messages.
参加小游戏的朋友呢，举起你的手，挥你的手。最终奖品呢会有5000元的 Lululemon 等值的礼券还是商品，有没有想要挑战的朋友？好，我看到一个，但我不确定我丢不丢得到。超过。还有没有人想要玩一下小游戏的？我手上还有没有？有没有上面一点的？那你们等一下玩哦，等一下要到商品部集合哦。再一个，有没有穿粉红色的朋友
？Back inside of Xinzhuang Gymnasium, where the Kings, being the home team after a while, have set up a lot more seats courtside for the special, really in-close experience for their home fans. So in a about 3:48 stretch, without Liggins and without Welsh, the Pilots were able to go 8-5. And then we see head coach of Team Chinese Taipei, Charlie Parker, in attendance as well.
Now we see Ayao getting subbed in by Coach Johnny. He hasn't really played much this game so far. Hasn't really done anything yet. And yet the Pilots are still leading by 7. So that's the most impressive part to me. You know, their secondary score being relatively silent this game.
Taoyuan looking for Tolbert, who spins on Welsh and missing the layup. Kyle fires it to Mason, his 3 short. And there's Aya with a rebound. Robinson at the basket. There's going to be a foul down there. That time Tolbert acting out as the clear-out man. Mason will take a seat for Amigo.
Yep. You know, Devin Robinson, despite not being, you know, having a lot of, like, say, muscle mass, he's really agile. And when he gets into that kind of situation, especially in a one-on-one, and he goes into, you know, just being gritty with you and just, you know, being hard-nosed with you, he can always get the upper edge and can always at least score a foul, if not a basket.
Perfect trip from the line. Poked out of bounds by Tolbert. If somebody's out there counting deflections, I'd like to know. Pilots must have almost a dozen by now.
Yeah.
Liggins to Kyle in the corner. Quick attack, and there will be a foul call as he goes down a little hard. 4th team foul by the Pilots, so Kings in the bonus for the rest of 7 minutes and 20 seconds.
You know, when Kyle saw Hayden slightly mispositioned in that situation, immediately just pump up the, you know, the pedal and just drove in, get the contact, and drew the foul. Incredible instinct.
Kyle is the leading scorer of the Kings right now with 7 points. For the Pilots is Robinson with 13. That makes it 8 points, and Guan Dayo will run the point. Taoyuan trying to find an opening and overpasses it. Zijingyao can only pick it up for a backcourt violation. Three fouls for Hayden. Now Taoyuan will go to the bench, not having a good stint himself. Looking for JJ off the down screen, gives it back. Pick and roll, foul. Shot won't go in, but another trip to the line for Lee Kai-yin. Yesterday against the Braves, they kept things simple, and almost every action in the first half was just pick and rolls.
Yeah, those are just, you know, get your hands caught in the cookie jar kind of foul. Those are just, I would say, unnecessary. But a lot of times, it's really hard against a player like Kyle. His explosiveness, it's really hard to contend him and not following him.
Thomas Welsh able to get the putback. Now the Pilots facing a lot more physical Kings defense now. Now Amigos called for the holding and a little bit of extra words now.
A little smoke.
We did see it right in front of us in the previous possessions.
Yep.
Robinson will get a break. Screen across, nothing for the Pilots. So Guan Da-yo hooks it to Lu Jingxiang. Fancy play, too strong with it. Ricochet to Liggins. Amigo from the corner, yes! So what an answer by the Kings right now, just down by one. Colbert working on Welsh. Give it up. Takes a step back, rattles it in. Colbert and Robinson do like the jumpers from that elbow area. Kyle throws it to Guan Da-yo. The 3-on-0 as Zijingyao gets the lay-in.
And like we said, ever since last game, Coach Johnny took over the reign as head coach. You know, they started play a lot more faster.
JJ nails the corner three with the Pilots across Nash. So they had effort on the offensive end, but didn't have it on the defensive end.
Right. And I feel like that's the story of their season so far. Like in some games, they would show flashes of like incredible offenses, and then they would collapse on the defensive end in the third quarter. And sometimes they play good D, and then they can't score. So it's about the balance.
Afe gets the offensive rebound. Will try a three for himself. All net. Giving the Pilots a little bit of a breathing room because they were pretty disorganized on both ends of the floor.
Yeah, for sure.
Kyle dumps it off to Welsh, who's able to get the big fundamental hook shot in. Now a turnover.
That was a great idea, but bad execution.
Amigo firing away and burying the three. Pilots call timeout.
And Amigo really loves that spot. You know, even from last game, he was clanking a lot of open threes, wide open threes from different spots. But when it comes to that 45-degree, that angle, he's just absolutely money it.
Saw previously in yesterday's game, JJ did not score. But now knocking down a three, and Amigo, of course, coming off his 21-point performance yesterday. Not an incredibly efficient game, but 6 for 6 free throws, and of course, the ones that mattered down the stretch. He's really very big on taking the challenge of other teams' imports as well.
That's right. Amigo has one of those rare attributes that Taiwanese local players might not have. That is toughness.
Less than into the Pilots timeout.
第二个 ，pistol 挡人，同样的位置怎样？换啊 ，game play 执行策略下去，同样这组打，我们要让 Kevin 跟 Jordan 修一下。Focus, listen to me。执行策略 ，OK, let's go。
On the screen is the graphic of the biggest difference and biggest effort that the Pilots have faced in the last 5 games, winning 2 of 5. The biggest one, game 31, was that Tuesday game.
You know, my takeaway from this graphic card is, you know, they just can't play consistent basketball on the court. You know, like I said, they can play great offense. They can play a great stretch of like 20-0 run, but then, you know, just a lack of focus or lack of like scoring in general in, you know, crunch times, you know, just haunts them constantly.
It'll be Afei, Ayao, Junxiang, Tolbert, and Guan Dayou. No subs for the Kings as Tolbert takes a step back and nails it in Welch's face. Nigo springs free, now gets the screen. Shoots it over to JJ, taking the pull-up, or was it a pass? Welch gonna be called for traveling under the basket. At least it's a dead ball turnover for the Kings. And on the replay, indeed, took a step then a hop. A little bit more than 3:30 to go. Ayao out to
Great look
from the right side, can't get the stroke. Wu Junxiang struggling this game, only 1 of 7 as Amigo on fire. Kings with a 1-point lead.
You know, after last game's epic battle between 2 Taiwanese basketball deities, you know, Amigo once again proved that he is on top of the top echelon of Taiwanese basketball. And he has the ability to make any shot at any spot.
Tolbert answers with a 2 as Guan Dayou reaches and posted out of bounds.
In my opinion, the Pilots lack this one, you know, this primary scorer type of player, this top perimeter player that these top teams have. You know, on the Kings you have Amigo, on the Braves you have guys like Jet, Beast. You know, the Pilots just need guys like Ayao, who's done that last season, to step up.
Now Amigo working right, flinging up a shot off the corner of the backboard. He won't get it, and Yang Xinzi, they'll call a shot clock violation. We're back in after starting the game. Yang Xinzi caught the basketball a little bit later. Not enough time to get it off. Well, that guy could be Lu Junxiang, who's only 1 for 8 in this game.
Oh, for sure. But he needs to get more touches. He can't just be a corner spot-up shooter, because he's much better than that.
Now Tolbert, this time airballing the turnaround. Liggins will try from deep, and he hits it himself.
And the Kings are in a groove right now. They just can't seem to miss.
This is a matchup where neither team has scored below 90 ever. In their 4 previous head-to-heads, Guan Dayo overshoots the floater. Liggins left alone, takes another. This one in and out. Pong Pong with a rebound. Migo didn't get the steal. Guan Dayo charging with a head of steam. Wu Zhixiang tries again, and relief on his face as he hits the 3 as an answer. Pilots up by 1. Pong Pong switches on to Welsh. Behind the back, Welsh's 3, good. That's the affordability that a 3-point shooting center will give you.
Yep, and that's one of the reasons why many people consider Thomas Welsh as one of possibly import of the year. You know, not only his rebounding, his inside presence, Thomas Welsh, his ability to space the floor, to shoot 3s, really just, you know, make it a pain. It's really painful for other teams to defend that. You know, guys like Yao, during interviews, they talked about last time they lost to the Kings, they try to focus their defensive schemes on Thomas Welsh, trying to contain him, and in turn actually left a lot of shooters wide open, including Chen Youze, who had 15 points against them off the bench last time.
With a foul to give, they call it on Yang Xingzi, trying to handle Robinson on the inbound play. Wu Zhixiang losing the dribble. Pong Pong will take the toughest turnaround shot. No good. Afe gets the putback. So definitely not one for the video review of a successful execution, but 2 points, what the Pilots needed.
Yep, that's what Coach Johnny had him on the court to do. Afe is just to get rebounds, provide that energy.
Welsh after the screen. Amigo on the curl. That's out. And Afe with a chance to beat the clock. Gets it off, but only the back iron. So a free-flowing competitive first quarter into a dragged-out fight in the second. We'll be heading to the break. You're watching the Plus League. Back after this.
首先邀请我们 Lululemon Trainer June 来到我们的现场，为大家做一个示范，以及我们的参赛者到我们的中场做集合。
好的，那我们这个游戏呢，它就是透过我们这个半月式的练习，利用核心与腿部肌群的力量与篮球结合，让我们的四肢在静态收缩时能自由的向外伸展，达成我们这个身体的平衡。那我们游戏呢，总共有4关半月式渐进式的挑战，挑战者只要在2脚碰地就会被淘汰。那只要坚持到最后一关的胜利者，将获得我们 Lululemon 的神秘大奖。好的，那我们呢，请我们的 Chen Jun。
那既然呢是来到我们球场，我们 Lululemon 呢就要结合篮球这项运动呢，来为大家挑战一下核心。
好，那我们现在先请我们 Lululemon 的 Chen Jun 来为我们做一个示范的动作。首先呢，我们有4关，现在要示范的是第1关。
第1关，所以我们先将我们的另外任何的一只脚要往前的那一只脚的手会在前面，所以如果我是右脚，我是右手，另外一只手可以扶着腰，先放手，跟同手同脚在地板，脚拎起来。
哎，这只是第1关哦。
打开手，要停15秒。
要停15秒，相信这15秒应该是你们人生中最艰难的15秒啊！ 好，那我们呢，请10位的参赛者呢，我们就是再散开一点，散开一点，对，找一个自己最舒服的位置啊。好的，那我们呢，跟我们的老师一起一步一步做哦。OK， 第2步，往下摸，脚抬起来，伸直
左手
哦。
先打开。
好，我们已经开始计时了，
开始计时了。哎，好，我们白色衣服这一位不好意思淘汰。来，我们再来看，现在时间还有
10秒，就是这么漫长。6，
哎呀，可惜
，4、3、2、1。
好的，
好，2个出局
，3个。
A little bit of yoga pregame and a little bit of yoga at halftime here with the new Taipei Kings partnering with Lululemon for this theme weekend. Aaron Yang Tunlei and 蔡宝蔡晶晶 on the Mandarin broadcast. 全位朋友不要忘记帮我们的直播按赞。The halftime statistics for the two teams tied up at 53. 3-point shooting percentage above league average has been encouraging for us. A lot of competitive back and forth. The rebounding is close to margin. I think critically, 8 offensive rebounds for both teams is kind of causing a lot of that scramble, causing a little bit of that chippiness. Right now the Kings, so far with 11 turnovers, they definitely want to see that number go down. But that's the Pilots' MO. They cause a lot of turnovers and a lot of havoc for their opponents. See athleticism by Devin Robinson early, but then things kind of gave way to a 3-point shooting contest.
Yeah, normally in the department of offensive rebounds, the Pilots are usually lacking in this department. You know, usually they always get dominated by teams that have a import big. For instance, in this case, the Kings, they have one of the best import in the league in Thomas Welsh, and he had 4 offensive rebounds in the first half. But, you know, today we saw a different type of energy coming from the Pilots. You know, you have guys coming off the bench, grabbing a lot of offensive rebounds, providing a lot of extra energy and extra possession for the teams. And those are very crucial. If they want to play fast, if they want to play, you know, a lot of transition offense, they need those guys to come out and help out the team.
Jordan Tolbert, it's a very aggressive 10 points on 5 of 12 shooting, taking a lot of those chances from the perimeter, but crucially, we're kind of waiting on Lu Jingshan to wake up a little bit more. So far, 2 for 9 is not horrendous, though his scoring is much needed for the Pilots. Meanwhile, on the Kings side, they've kind of set up their rotation with kind of just their starters versus their bench team, so we'll see how they mix it up in the second half.
Yeah, both teams are shooting slightly better than their average. I would say the Kings just caught on fire in the second quarter. And, you know, not that I expect them to regress to the means, but I don't expect them to continue these kind of firepower going to the second half. You know, I'm expecting a more methodical, more half-court offense coming second half, so we'll see.
Still competitive basketball and the standings in the balance. We'll go to another break before the second portion of our halftime analysis, and thank you for watching this broadcast.
动作一定要标准。
还有，
那我们就1人分一边好了，我们在中场1人分一边，刚好剩两位参赛者，
只能有1位优胜者哦。你们2位只能有1位优胜哈。来看我们老师示范这个第4个动作。
来一样，但是现在要将这个手先往上压好，把你的脚跟夹着这个球。
哇，老师这个动作是不是有点难啊？
可以吗？可以吗？
好，那我们2位麻烦帮我们面对前面好吗？好，2位，告诉你们一个消息好不好？刚刚是不是都是10秒跟15秒，对吗？这一次呢，因为刚好剩下你们2位，所以我们是不限时间，看谁先落地谁就输了啊！意志力的对决。好了，双方准备好了，来。 我们准备开始啊，首先碰球，好，来准备哦，3、2、1，开始。慢慢来，没关系，应该是补给。
妹妹看起来比较接近一点。
好，
给他们一点掌声。
我继续，左手要往上打开。
还没有，手要往上哦，没错。
哇，这位男生也很厉害，
意志力的对决，加油！究竟是谁可以成为我们最后的优胜者呢？
但是因为我们中场也只有6分43秒哈，你们还是尽量不要超过这个时间。
对我们这个男生，你看他的眼神非常的意志坚定啊！好，恭喜我们这位妹妹得到我们今天的优胜。那我们没关系，我们也请这位男生先到我们的旁边稍等一下。
那请所有的参赛者到我们中间，我们直接做一个颁奖。帮我们站一排，站一排。
好，那请我们刚刚所有的参与者请上台，然后也请来蓝色的这位妹妹来我们的正中间哈，毕竟你是我们今天的这个优胜者，来中间。
来帮我们站一排。那今天呢，参加中场小游戏呢，由 Lululemon 提供的调节式口罩以及出汗可以用的小毛巾。我们先给我们的参赛者，其实你们都已经很棒了。
没错，那我们呢这边呢也要特别邀请到我们 Lululemon 的林承哲林经理一起上台为我们颁发我们这个贴心小礼以及奖品。那我们呢最终的优胜者。
Pong Pong smelling jersey, Zhen Xiangjun rubbing opponent's hair. Tank not letting go of the game-winning rebound. See those memes and more on Plus League social media accounts. We're in our second segment of breaking down this game here in Xingzhuang between the Taoyuan pilots against the new Taipei Kings. Devin Robinson leads the team with 13 points, followed by Jordan Tober's 10. Killer Guan Daiyou has 8, and Shi Yanzong coming off the bench has 7, and so does his teammate Chen Guanquan, the aforementioned Pong Pong. Robinson got his opportunities early, but the Kings have made it an emphasis to figure out how to stop him in the second quarter and presumably for the rest of the game. They're being very physical with him, and the Pilots need to figure out a counter.
Yeah, that's right. One of the biggest weakness for the Pilots all season long has been that if Robinson and Tober doesn't score, they lack that primary scorer to create the opportunity not only for themselves but also for their teammates.
Now for the Kings side, it's Amigo leading things with 12 points, followed by Thomas Welsh, his 11. Li Kaiyan, not in foul trouble in this game, has got 9. Shinsu started has 5, and so does Liggins. But Thomas Welsh, yesterday's game, had 24 points, led the team for only the first time in 3 games, scoring not a big deal, not a huge emphasis, I should say, and his priority. Leaving that to Amigo in the last few matchups. Figuring out how to stop him will be big task number 1 for the Pilots.
Yeah, for sure. We talked about last time we were in Taoyuan. Pilots, they don't really have a traditional center. Jordan Tober is not really a center. And so having that collective effort to contain Welsh, if possible, will be huge for them.
We'll go to break and the start of the second half after this.
宣导一下，我们目前比赛已经打了一半，也代表呢我们今天离我们2楼的解锁任务已经越来越近了。再一次提醒，只要今天新北国王我们助攻只要超过20个，下周就可以凭票根，并且带1位以上的女性同行，就能享有我们8折的优惠。那下半场呢，也请大家继续为我们新北国王加油，一起成功解锁我们的任务。Let's go, King! We crown the city. 好，我们的下半场呢，准备要开始，我们也请所有的观众以及球迷朋友们尽速入座，然后再一次提醒，我们的口罩务必确实的要戴好啊！我们要让台湾的防疫一起加油！
The second half about to get going underway. The fourth matchup between the Pilots and the New Taipei Kings. I'm Ryan Chen, joined by Kai Xu on this English broadcast as we see the first half and second half difference for number 69 Wu Junxiang in the first half, averaging 4 points per game. In the second half, 12 points per game. That field goal percentage bumping all the way up to 52.6. And so a cold shooting start to his game at 22%. Seems to be matching the script as the Pilots hope to pull one off on the road. Right now sitting 2.5 back of the Lioneers, who will play in this evening's game against the Steelers.
Yeah, Lu Junxiang's ability to come off the bench, especially in the second half when, you know, the starters trying to regulate their stamina. Guys like Lu Junxiang, who has great scoring outburst ability, comes in the second half, usually has great results. And, you know, you just have to try to get him going in the first half, let him find his groove, let him find his stroke, and, you know, great things will happen to him.
Kings start things out. Amigo on the down screen. Jump pass and a missed hook shot by Yang Xingzi. Not used to taking them 10 feet from the basket. Kings start things out. Kyle, Amigo, Welsh, Xingzi, and Liggins. Tolbert trying to beat him with size, eventually getting the push shot down low. During this 3-game winning streak, the Kings averaged 102 points scored and only 94 given up. They swing it around. Kyle lost it for a second. Take a last-second shot to beat the buzzer, and Welsh tracks down the rebound. Migo with his three, no problem.
Again, offensive rebound for Thomas Welsh, creating second chance opportunity for his teammates, and Amigo doesn't miss in that spot.
Now Robinson will try to answer, bouncing out. Deep positioning, Welsh on Manimal, who commits the early arm holding foul. Referee's not going to let him play through that one. Get another look. Manimal out of position after the failed rebound attempt.
You know, Coach Tony talked about it multiple times before, and it's that they oftentimes missing their own defensive assignment.
They'll give him a continuation, so another bucket for number 1. Likes to go by Big Game James. Jordan Tolbert able to get around Welsh and Lee Kai-yin. Thomas Welsh will be the one charged with the foul.
And he played big there for sure. You know, making contact with 2 people and still put it in. That's impressive.
Kyle on the Welsh screen will take the mid-range. It's good. Hayden getting bumped out of the way and then fouled. Pretty handsy Amigo there. Tying things up, 2 fouls apiece. Hayden on this main pick and roll. Nothing's opened up. So Taoyuan flies to the rim. Ends up on the floor. Kings with a rebound and a fast break chance. Kyle to the basket, high bounce and out, and they call a foul. Welsh was there for the rebound. Pretty relentless, and
yeah,
you gotta get a body on him.
Another offensive rebound for him, and this is gonna be a tough task for the Pilots to solve. They don't really have a solution for Thomas Welsh. You know, just maybe double him, maybe box out better, but they need to figure out not to let Welsh does whatever he wants in the paint.
Makes the pair to give the Kings the lead back. Foul call on the screening action. It's going to be Yang Xingzi. His third personal. There you see his hand on the chest, and Taoyuan getting the pedal and the reverse slam.
That's a grown man slam.
Didn't think you were going to get a soccer highlight, but you got one there as Hayden airballs the three. And immediately, they're going to go to the bench.
And you gotta give Kyle the respect that he deserves. Last game, he was playing well, but he got into foul trouble. This game, he's matching up against a much smaller defender, Hayden, and he's taking full advantage of it. Playing so much more aggressive. And you know, when he plays like that, like I said, good things happen.
So they don't sub out Wu Jiajun, Hayden. It's Kyle going at him. Missing the close one. Seems to be trying to keep up with Robinson, who nails the elbow jumper. Off the Thomas screen, lost the pass. Amigo will try the pull-up jumper and another one.
And Amigo just absolutely caught on fire this game.
Now Robinson flies all the way to the right side of the rim for the lay-in. Amigo already 5 for 6 on the far side. Hayden trying to get back into the action as Yang Xingzi didn't get 2 hands on the basketball. It's going to be a turnover. Some missed opportunities there. We see Amigo with the off timing. Got the leg pop too.
And despite Amigo's absolutely insane scoring outburst this game, the Pilots are still, you know, they're still in the game. And one of the big reasons is Devin Robinson's almost unsolvable ability to score around the basket.
Oh, Hayden from the corner, able to hit that 3 after missing badly. Amigo with a step back, another 3, bouncing out, and Welsh there for the putback.
And you gotta stop that. You cannot let them get that putback so easily.
Robinson can't answer with the mid-range. Kings up by 1, trying to extend on the lead. Kyle to the basket, too easy.
And that's just totally unacceptable.
Turning Ray able to save it out of bounds as Colbert nails the corner 3. Definitely got the feeling that the Pilots maybe should have called timeout, but maybe they shouldn't have after that shot.
And that was absolutely on Hayden. He just let Kyle blew him off.
Mason from the corner will get the bounce. his first field goal of the game.
And that's gonna feel good for Mason, right? He's played great last game. He's getting really good minutes now so far.
Robinson couldn't get the friendly bounce there. Migo coughing it up. Numbers for the Pilots as Afe to Hayden on the left side this time, too strong. Now Liggins trying to go to the basket, getting the bounce. Halfway through this one, already combined 35 points. Robinson now going right, losing it out of bounds. They say it's off of Welsh. A little bit of extra stuff going on as well. The TV timeout kind of saving everybody from the extracurriculars.
Things are getting a little chippy down here.
We'll go to the break as they sort things out, talk it over. Back with the action.
大家原谅我一下哦，这个真的很难丢哦，这个真的有点飘哦。
哎，场边看到穿粉红色熟悉的身影，我们欢迎林柏宏，欢迎来到我们新庄体育馆，跟大家挥挥手 ，Hello， 欢迎您来我们支持我们新北国王。哎，粉红色真的蛮适合你的。
好，这边的朋友，然后你够牛，但是我不知道你抢不抢得到啊。
哎，Jason 也来到我们现场，跟他挥挥手。
Jason Tong, former English broadcast color commentator, right now a member of the Kings leadership. As the fans getting into this one, Kings right now up by 5. Doing it mostly on the back of the work of number 40, Thomas Welsh. They're out of their timeout early, and the Pilots right now still in theirs. We'll see if there's anything additional coming out of their extracurriculars from the last play. So we see Mason giving an extra body bump. It will be an unsportsmanlike foul on number 1. Those two guys, they have their history on this floor.
Looks like that was out of frustration.
Mason with 2 personal fouls. All special fouls in FIBA basketball get counted to your personal tally. Made first by Robinson. They'll have the basketball. This is the second.
And you see Mason doing the silent posture that be quiet. Seems like he's mocking him. You know, that's the thing. I'd have no problem with that foul. You know, you're giving up 2 free throws, but in a way, Robinson was unstoppable, you know.
Van Dayo caught too deep.
out of composure might be a good thing for the Kings.
Now Kyle trying to go at Robinson, gives it up. Good for the basketball. Afe stepped on the sideline. Good effort play, but it'll be out of bounds. Kings will be given a fresh 24. Kyle to the rim, erased by Robinson, took a hard foul. Still not up yet. Numbers for the Pilots. Wu Jingxiang's corner three hits.
And what a response from Wu Jingxiang. After being very quiet in the first half, shooting a 3 for 9, that was a huge 3 for the Pilots.
Liggins, corner to Mason. He's hit there before, and another.
And Mason responds.
Fan pick and roll for Robinson, who elevates, bouncing out his mid-range. Attempts the steal, and the Kings now have numbers. Kyle's three is up. Mason almost got the putback. It's gonna be the Pilots though on the break. Bandayo gets by Welsh to Pompom. His three, almost. Pretty good offense by the Pilots, lacking that finishing touch.
Yeah, even though he missed that shot, you love to see it. You know, in the third quarter, almost every point for the Pilots were scored by either Robinson or Tolbert. And that's what you like to see from your local players.
Amigo at the basket. Assist 15-15 as Wu Jingxiang met a wall. Kings reset the play. Nigo going right at the basket. There's a whistle first, and they'll go to the line. Robinson was ready to jump out of the gym for that block, as we see Afe riding him a little bit too much with the hands. Liggins will go out for KJ.
You know, last night against the Braves, we talked about how Amigo is one of the premier players in plus leagues to have that ability to draw foul, to draw contact. And, you know, that kind of value gets magnified when the game slows down. And, you know, his value of just getting the free throw line and consistently making them, shooting around 55%.
Kings break it open to an 8-point lead, and the Pilots call timeout. Right now, you got to think about what counters the Pilots can have. Right now, with the way the Kings are swarming on defense, corner shooting is that much more important, and we haven't seen very much of Shi Jingyao in the second half. Let's listen in.
有机会就要投啊，海瑶有机会就要投啊，一样。只要汤马斯守谁，谁就上去挡。OK， Jordan打牛角，跟我们打碰碰一个，碰碰卡位一定要2分呐。啊？if Thomas got a 碰碰，打右。 让碰碰啪爆出来 ，OK， 然后 Jordan steal， 这个时候对不对？俊强你在这边，他一 steal 的时候你就上来，所以呢，碰碰你要直接传给他，由俊强传给他都可以 ，OK， 注意回防哦，注意回防 ，transition defense，let's go，let's go。
Just heard in the Pilots huddle. oftentimes a strategy that in the NBA they use to counter Rudy Gobert is get him involved in the pick and roll, make him guard out of position. That's what the Pilots' plan seems to be coming out of their timeout.
Absolutely. Coach Johnny also talked about Pong Pong. If he has that two-point shot, take it. You have to be a threat in a perimeter for the defense to actually cater to you. And you know, Pong Pong absolutely has the ability to make a difference. He just has to be more aggressive.
Kings show a little bit of pressure, now back off. They miss out on Pong Pong early. Go to him again, and now 3 seconds are called. That seems to be a major execution error because that was the play that was drawn and they didn't get the basketball to him.
Yeah, and if I remember correctly, they wanted Pong Pong in the horn set, right? In the elbow to get the ball. And instead he went to low post.
Now Amigo guarded by Ayao. Trying to back him down. Lifts it up. And out. Mason taps it to Ayao. Gandayo leaving the break. They'll slow it up. Now Mason commits the early foul. Just the disciplined defense and getting a little lucky there. Miko had good positioning. Now the fourth personal by Mason. 15th foul as another missed free throw by Jordan Tolbert. It's been a problem for their team.
Yeah, Ayao, even back in his like older days, has always been a solid defender. You know, he has that he has a pretty good feel of the game, and he has a body of work to guard those wings.
Now he hits the corner three. So he missed out on some free throws, but get 3 points instead. Not a bad trade-off.
Oh, for sure.
Pilots are only 65% from the line. Out of bounds will stay with the Kings. Obviously, Steven and Quincy Davis will come in, giving Amigo and Welsh a breather. Amigo already with 22 points. One more than yesterday's output. Running out of time, Kyle gives it up. Gets two defenders in the air. There, put the Pilots in a scramble as Steven finds the lane to the basket. But the Pilots falling asleep there.
And Steven with a great presence of mind, knowing that there was a hole in the perimeter, just drove in, get that easy two.
Bandayo driving hard to the basket. Ayao from the left side this time, and another. That's the man we pointed out. Couple made threes in a row, bringing his point total to 8. Quincy screens for Kyle, his mid-range. Bouncing out, Quincy Davis on the second attempt.
And 2 straight bucket, corner outside shot for Ayao, absolutely crucial. Last year he played a lot of point guard, a lot of above the break threes opportunities, but this year playing a lot more off ball gave him a lot of open shots in the corner.
They're gonna call it off of Kyle. Jordan Tolbert was the closest Pilot there. Get another look at Steven. Very cognizant of the Pilots' defensive rotation. Robinson gets free underneath. That's one of those rare, it really helps to be skinny kind of plays.
It's a great feat from Pong Pong. He's always had that great passing mind.
Now trying to keep up with Steven. A loose ball foul. Youngster kind of unlucky there. lost the basketball and commits the loose ball foul, so it's free throws for the Pilots.
Yeah, that's one thing the Pilots really do well on the defensive end. That's collapsing and driving lanes. They don't allow a lot of driving lanes, but when it comes to pressuring the ball handler, a lot of times what happens is they will miss out on the corner shooter. And so far they've been containing the three relatively well. The Kings they're shooting at such an insane efficiency, it's hard to really contain them fully.
Robinson hits the first free throw. His point total up to 21 now. Second personal on Steven. Sun Ju-man is going to be really familiar with these Pilots players. As we mentioned, he went to NTSU, who have a working relationship with the Taoyuan basketball organization.
Yeah, you know, Taoyuan is known for, you know, playing hard-nosed defense, playing team-style basketball, and having really great fundamentals.
Bandayo absolutely putting clamps on Kyle until the foul here.
Maybe a little overzealous towards the end there.
Well, that's one of those, you can only get faster by slowing down. Kyle, right in front of us, stopped moving and then accelerated out to get the foul. So,
yeah,
to the youngsters, you don't want to be hustled all the time. Sometimes that change of pace is what helps you out.
Right, the great Charles Barkley once said, you know, you can't always play 100%, right? Sometimes you got to play 50, 60, reserve that energy, and then save it till the end. And I think for young players like Killer Kwan has great potential, but just need to learn the balance, you know, when to go full force, when to pump the brake a little bit.
We have 9 seconds to execute a full court play.
Full court press from the Kings towards the end of third.
Wu Jingxiang.
Oh,
Quincy Davis getting too handsy with it. Will be free throws.
And what a mistake from Quincy Davis, fouling towards the end there. Just a bad foul.
Yeah, because with time running out, I suppose Quincy Davis would have been too late for the contest, but Wu Jingxiang missing the free throw in this game. The Kings 7 for 13. A second makes the adjustment. They get in Manimal for a little bit more full court mobility. 2 on Kyle, Quincy Davis nearby. He'll get a dribble, half-court shot is up. Hits off the backboard and out. And we'll head to the fourth quarter, the final frame. U Taipei Kings up by 3, trying to make it a 4-game winning streak. You're watching the Plus League. We'll be back after this.
不用贩售我们这个新北国王的专属口罩，是非常好看，低调又好看。那如果大家喜欢的话呢，可以去购买。大家可以把我们的目光放到我们上方的荧幕。
国皇帮我们戴上你的王冠，看我们大荧幕。Hello， 这可以，有点像羽毛也 OK。
哎呀，可以，真可爱。
来喽 ，Hello， 看一下大荧幕，嗨，为自己戴上你的王冠。Hello， 我们试着像我们 Ken 一样戴上皇冠，看我们啦啦队 Queens 一样。
皇冠已经戴好了。Hello， 头一次举着我们的皇冠。Hello， 小朋友们 ，Hello。
哎，是我们 Rise and Shine 一家 ，Hello， 全家都来了。
哎，真的。
跟荧幕挥挥手，戴上皇冠。Oh nice， 哎呦，这可以哦，这可以哦。Hello。哎 ，nice， 孔雀开屏也 OK。杰森，我们戴上我们新北国王的皇冠 ，nice，nice。
Now the standings are on our league website, including team win and loss streaks. Check it out at pleagueofficial.com/standings. Once again, putting on everybody's crown. That's another unintended benefit of handing out cheer fans for everybody. Pilots will start things off with possession.
Yeah, in the third quarter, we saw the Pilots creating a lot of open threes opportunities, which is really rare for them. And so, you know, we just have to see if they can continue to create these kind of opportunities for them.
Steven with 6 points in this one. Yesterday, played the most minutes since game 20 of this regular season. Liggins trying to chase Robinson around. Ayao pops free, gets Liggins in the air, shoots the three, too strong. Guan Dayo with the second opportunity, still no. After a couple makes in the corner, Ayao comes away empty from top. Liggins kicks it out to Steven, takes it to the basket. Lucky to get iron and another offensive rebound. This time Liggins from the corner. 2 bounces and out.
Oh.
And Guan Dayo calls for traveling.
And Steven coming over to tell him that, yeah, it is indeed a travel.
Those two guys played together very briefly in college. Turnover so far, 15 for the Kings, 12 for the Pilots. Liggins, before he can get to the basket, Sijiao will be called for the foul, getting caught up with Davis. In the arm hook. Now backdoor. Pilots poke it out of bounds.
You know, one thing about Liggins that I really respect is his dribble drive penetration. Maybe might not be as lethal as other imports, but his willingness to facilitate and pass it out to open teammates.
Blocks out the rim. Now Pilots in numbers. There's a foul early. As Guan Dayo ends up on the floor. We see again Robinson getting the basketball and the rebound. For the first time in this game, number 45, Wenli Huang, he goes by Bill. We'll check in with the kind of salmon-colored neon shoes. Guan Dayo getting the screen, taking the tough fadeaway. It's good for 3. We got a tie game at 86. Davis nails the 3. Guan Dayo signals for Chen. 2 screens, 3 screens for Robinson. Getting that shot blocked from behind. And a hustle play ends up with 2 Pilots out of bounds, but
and Guan Dayo, like Chen Kwan, seems to have been unlocked by Coach Johnny. He's a completely different player than he was a couple weeks ago. You know, he already has 11 points, 7 assists, and 3 steals, just making impact on everywhere on the floor.
Robinson took a hard fall, and right in front of us, kind of working out the kinks in his left elbow. Ayao on Kyle. Liggins with a cut. Have to pull it out. Lim Hong battling Quincy Davis down low. Foul first though, battling for position. It's gonna be the second foul on the Pilots in the quarter. Here, your hand in the elbow, in the armpit. Couldn't get Jordan Tolbert in time, so Liggins to inbound. Lim Hong commits another foul. He's got no match. So seeing Robinson in some discomfort, they get in Jordan Tolbert. Still will go down for Afe.
Well, at least he sweat a little.
KJ pops free and immediately knocks down the three. Kings up by 6, and Tolbert trying to muscle his way to the basket, pops it up. KJ to Quincy. Foul on the baseline. Quincy Davis moving a little bit and finishes with the slam.
Quincy Davis with authority.
Seems like we have a little bit of a clock malfunction. Right now, they'll be given a timeout. Pilots down by 6. Need to find a rally. Correction on my part, right now the Kings up by 8. And critically in this fourth quarter, the Pilots have 3 turnovers and are at the mercy of Quincy Davis now, inside and out.
Yeah, it's been a while since we've seen Quincy Davis showing that much emotion and that much verticality.
Out of the timeout, it'll be Hayden, Lu Junxiang, Ayao, Pongpo, and Tolbert for the Kings. It's Liggins, Kyle, KJ, Xingzi, and Davis. Lu Junxiang to Hayden in the corner, who knocks down the 3. A staple of the Pilots' offense is that reverse curl.
And you know, Kyle has been exploiting the matchup with Hayden all game long. Hayden needs to knock down those shots in order to stay on the court. You know, he's fast. He's a really good point guard, solid, knows how to feed the ball to his guys, but he has to be a threat out in the perimeter in order to justify his presence on the court.
That time caught, trying to stick with Liggins. Quincy Davis calls an audible. Now hands it off to Liggins. There's a little collision and Pilots in a scramble. To the basket. They're gonna call a block shot for Popo. He set up another play, as we saw previously. Pompo coming over with the help. Jingzi running low on time, caught on the wrong shoulder, puts up an air ball. And the Pilots will be able to secure that turnover. Eight minutes left, we got a long way to go. Same play, but no opening there. So Lu Junxiang flies the other way for the mid-range, no. Quincy Davis will start the break. Liggins with a step back three, banks it home.
A drag screen from Quincy Davis just across half court, giving Liggins his favorite spot, the above the break three.
Pom looks out the shot, screens away. Tolbert doesn't answer right away. There's Lu Junxiang, deep three, bouncing out. Tolbert couldn't grab the rebound. After the swing pass, Liggins taking his time. KJ flings it up and off of Tolbert, it seems. The referees talk it over.
It seems like as player starts to attempt more of these kind of like shots, you know, like baiting fouls kind of shot, refs are adapting to it as well. They know that you're doing these kind of moves in order to bait for fouls. So sometimes they swallow those whistles, and you know, that's just unfortunate for KJ.
Not a great sequence by the referees. They call it for the Kings, then for the Pilots, and now they'll go to the monitor to be sure.
Listen. Actually.
There's Lingta on screen. Returned to practice, but has not suited up for the team after his national team duties playing in Okinawa. After review, they say it'll stay with the Kings with only 6 seconds left on the clock. Critically, in this fourth quarter, the Pilots have not been able to play defense without fouling. Already 4 team fouls. Got mentioned before, the 3 turnovers. You see Tolbert, the last one to touch it. Migo fresh in the game, trying to get free. Liggins shaking, faking, taking a tough 3. Long rebound to Lu Junxiang. King stops the Pilots' break. On the block. Robinson from deep. Shake and bake. His pull-up is in. So the elbow's healed up now.
And that was a great set play by the Pilots. A double screen for Pom to get onto the block and then allow Devin Robinson for a 1v1 ISO.
He's got some similar thinking going on as Yamshitsu coughs it up. No, to Liggins. Trying to make lemonade out of a lemon. They turn it over.
They gotta push it. They push it!
At the rim. That's the free-flowing basketball the Pilots need to get back into this one. Now down by 4. Less than 6 minutes to go. Timeout by the Kings. See previously Robinson with a jump shot, but then getting the help from his teammates.
You know, Devin Robinson has had so many amazing dunks that, you know, we're just so like immune to it. And it's like, oh, this is so mild, but it's actually just such an incredible off-foot Euro step dunk. Like, his athleticism is without a doubt, like maybe the greatest in Plus League right now.
Kings have 2 timeouts remaining, 1 for the Pilots.
Dre, Kyle, Amigo, hit Q. Mace, you go through. Amigo, over the top. Mace, you go through and lift. Kyle, you go across. No, Kyle, you stay. Mace, you go through. Q, hit Amigo. Dre, come behind. Set this screen. Attack. Dre, Spain pick and roll. Q, Dre coming back. You attack downhill, okay? Hey, stay in it. Be aggressive. Attack the rim. We're in bonus the rest of the game. Here we go. Kings on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Well, you heard it, folks. Seems like it's going to be DeAndre Liggins with at least the first possession. They'll try things out, but that's the key message that we mentioned before. Pilots will be, the Kings, I mean, will be in the bonus for the rest of the game. And having the lead, certainly in a comfortable position, but Pilots have that kind of team that can turn it around. They've proven it last season. They've also done it a number of times this season.
Yeah, Coach Marchand was talking about a Spanish pick and roll and then give it to Liggins to drive downhill. You know, that's been their trademark this season. The Spanish pick and roll to allow their bigs like Davis and Walsh to have that three-point shooting ability or to just roll into the rim, creating confusion, creating collapsing defenses.
After the driving kick, Amigo with a behind-the-head pass to Mason. Has that one blocked. Running low on time. They don't call anything on the collision. It's a shot clock violation by the Kings. Maybe you think Bobby should have tried the three-pointer at the break.
Yeah, perhaps the best defensive play that the Pilots have played this game so far. Just being patient with their defense. Always trying to catch open shooters, but not being overzealous.
Now they're trying to get Robinson on a post-up. Pong to the rim. Getting the foul on Davis. So a second time, this time with no layup, but Pong taking advantage of the matchup with Quincy Davis. See the hands inside and indeed a foul.
Like I've said before, aggressive Pong is the best Pong. He has the size to compete with the import. And like we've seen so many times, when he dribble drives, it creates a lot of contact. And he's such a great shooter with a great touch. Getting on the free throw line is so crucial for the Pilots.
9 for 15 on this one. Need to be a lot better than that for the rest of this one if they want to make a comeback. Quincy Davis played a little fast and loose with it, but Pong got a little handsy himself. Not quite the time in the game we'll have a free throw matchup. There's Thomas Welsh finally ready to check into this one.
And he knows that was very close, but unfortunately.
Second personal for Pong. As Welsh is in the game now, so Pilots got to be all hands on deck for rebounding. Meanwhile, the Kings get JJ in as well.
And this lineup that the Kings are putting on the court right now, in my opinion, is just super lethal. They have one of the two, maybe most versatile bigs on the floor, along with Kyle, maybe one of the best point guards in the league right now. And then you have JJ, a 6th Man of the Year candidate, lights out shooter, and Amigo. It's gonna be hard for the Pilots to break through.
Kings poke it out of bounds. Another stack formation, except Robinson, the inbounder. Ayo on the curl, takes a tough 3 short. Going left, over the top. Welsh fresh in the game. Missing the 3, and Quincy Davis be patient with it. Taoyuan fresh in the game, runs into Davis. Is down, and now a foul on the drive.
And that was a great defensive, play all in all from the Pilots until Ray was, hit with a collision and collapsed on the floor.
Sometimes we've heard about, well, actually on the Plus League's collaborative podcast, Pom Pom actually admitted that sometimes they don't communicate enough on defense, and that is definitely one of those occasions. Taoyuan, the guy who received the blow.
Yeah, that's right. Coach Tony have always emphasized about, improving communications. And we all know it's not that easy. But, for a team that comes from such a good system, the Taoyuan system, I have full confidence that they will figure it out.
Migo makes the free throw. A perfect 5 for 5 in this one. Jordan Tolbert's back in the game. So for the Pilots, just 3 forwards for them. Play doesn't develop, and so Hayden left with beating the clock. Tolbert down low, throws it up, and there's going to be a foul, kind of squeezing his way into the interior.
Yeah, the Pilots deployed a lot of double screen for their ball handler, but a lot of times it just resulted in, nothing. And kudos to the Kings. They played really hard-nosed defense.
Tolbert at the line, only 1 for 3 so far. They've got 2 for 4 now. On Friday night, he scored 25 points, 19 so far in this contest. Trying to get Quincy Davis free. Migo to the basket. Quincy Davis comes down with it, goes back up, and it's 2 points. Back to a 6-point lead for the home team. Taoyuan on the handoff. Has not played much in this game. Getting a foul. JJ trying to keep up with him.
And you love to see it. Ray being one of their newer wing with very good athleticism, you want to see more playing time for him and more shots from him to get used to the rhythm of the game.
There's a made free throw at Taoyuan as Wu Junshan came in for Ayao. Missing it, and Tolbert gets deep enough for another rebound. Taoyuan trying to step back, missing it to the left. Doesn't look like a shot he's very comfortable with. Quincy Davis asking for it. Passing it off to JJ with the lay-in.
The Pilots successfully defended that floppy set from the Kings, but it ended up being a good cut from JJ and a good pass, good feed from Quincy Davis. An easy 2 points for the Kings. We talked about yesterday how JJ is not only a knockdown shooter, but he's also really good at cutting, right? in that 15 points game against the Pilots last time, he had a couple really good backdoor cuts, resulted in easy basket under the rim.
Tolbert makes another free throw as they get Pong Pong in the game. Certainly a better matchup to Quincy Davis than Manimal. After a little two-man dance with Amigo, Tolbert's a perfect 2 for 2 from the line. Sticking with the floppy. Amigo all the way back on the timeline. Bad pass, and now the Pilots with a chance to run. Tolbert as the Kings stop the fast break. And a perfect teardrop by 69, Lu Junxiang.
And that was so absolutely sorely needed for the Pilots. That floater dribble drive penetration, Lu Junxiang has that ability to get that bucket. He's a bucket getter. And in crunch time, you want guys like Lu Junxiang to stay on the court and continue to contribute to the team.
With that made basket, Lu Junxiang's 12 points is the highest local player, surpassing Guan Dayo's 11. They'll bring it to within a 3-point game. The Kings call timeout. 2:20 left.
If they go shoulder, Tom, high post, Q underneath. Here we go. 对，Jordan 4号。拉在这边，拉在这边，拉在这边，拉在那边走，拉在那边走。OK， 好，不是一样，不要换，你们这样比较麻烦。好，所以过来对不对？他会一直跟着我们的2号。19跟2号，包包，一过来你就过来了。所以呢，你看啊 ，the lead, everybody's got to be on the glass. No offensive rebound. Strong with the basketball. Don't expect any foul calls. All right. Winning time. Here we go. Hey, finish on 3. 1, 2, 3.
So Coach Marchand getting his team ready for anything. Meanwhile, the Pilots need to key in on execution.
Yeah, we can see that in the fourth quarter so far, Pilots has attempted 7 threes, and that is kind of unusual for them. They don't really attempt that many threes, but as we have seen so far this game, a lot of their shooters have been shooting pretty well. So it's quite, I guess it's quite okay, you know, for them to try to see if they can find more easy 3-point opportunities in the corner.
Tony Ray called for the foul on the reach. It's a little bit early to be playing the free throw game, especially when the subject you foul is Amigo.
Yeah, like we said, this team is still working on communications. They're still working on trying to play with each other. And you know, we've seen improvements so far.
Tony Ray with 3 personal fouls will go to the bench. So the man we keep showing you is Li Dong, the chairman of the Taoyuan organization and the big supporter of Taiwan basketball. Tolbert gives up an open look. Lu Junxiang from deep, rattles it in. Down to a 2-point lead. Quincy Davis low, Thomas Walsh setting the screen. They swarm the basketball, now scramble. Hayden falls down, nothing there. Quincy Davis with the answer.
And that was absolutely huge from Quincy Davis. And timeout from the Pilots.
A little bit of confusion and there's so much noise going on in the building. Lu Junxiang with the dead-eye shot from center. Meanwhile, the Kings taking advantage of numbers.
Yeah, what a response from Quincy Davis. You know, we talked about Quincy Davis having that inside presence, but also, you know, he has evolved into a triple threat big man, which is really, really rare.
With that made three, we can show off the shooters for the new Taipei Kings. They all happen to be bigs. Quincy Davis, Thomas Walsh, and Mason yesterday knocking down 2 3-pointers each, providing that unstoppable offense from the outside that the Braves ended up falling to in the end. In this game, Amigo has made 5 3-pointers. Mason made it 2. And Liggins with 2. Thomas Welsh 1 for 3. Still a good percentage. Also, as we mentioned, those rebounds, 7 on the offensive end.
Yeah, Pilots, they aren't even playing bad defense. In fact, I think they're playing pretty good defense so far. But the Kings, they just refuse to miss those threes. They're just playing at such an insane efficiency. It's crazy.
Before heading into the timeout, I heard Coach Marchand calling for KJ. Gonna get crucial minutes down the stretch. Jose Venti sporting the pink-purple tracksuit. Not an active player in this game, but an active participant nonetheless. Now the Pilots come out. Ayao, Hayden, Lu Junxiang, Pong Pong, and Tolbert. Minute 37 left. Pilots only down to their 32nd timeout. They'll inbound from the front court. Hayden to the basket, hammer to Lu Junxiang. Left open, no good. Offensive rebound for the Pilots. Tolbert feeling confident, almost banked it in. A 2-possession game, so Pilots just need to play solid defense. Double screen, that's Swarm. KJ to the other side, Kyle takes the elbow jumper, it's good.
And Kyle just being an absolute menace in the mid-range. What a mid-range assassin.
Lu Junxiang overshoots the runner. The Kings will play the time game. Up by 3 possessions. The Kings might not even mind a few shot clock violations. They get the jump ball here.
The nice instinct from Pong Pong to just smother Kyle as soon as he got the handoff.
Quincy Davis to Amigo. 5 seconds left. Kyle from way deep. Ball out of bounds. No, Quincy Davis just sees it fall helplessly toward us, if you want to know where we're sitting. No substitutions for either team.
Great defensive effort by Ayao. Just absolutely clamped up Kyle right there.
Ayao dribbling left, taking the 3. Hayden couldn't get the putback. That'll be it for the game as the Kings are going to extend that winning streak to 4. .111-104 is this final, and on the pink theme weekend, the Kings able to get the sweep against the Braves, who are in first place, and against the Pilots, desperate to make a climb toward that 4th spot in the standings. Still awaiting Nemanja Vesovic's debut. Hopefully for them, it's not too late.
Yeah, if I'm a Pilots fan, obviously I'm not going to be happy with the result, but I can at least be happy with the gameplay. You know, the gameplay has such an improvement from, at the beginning of the season. Offense has been their biggest problems all year. They only average about 85 points per game. And this game, they score over 104 points. And that, to me, that is a big improvement for them.
There we see the final line score. It was tied at halftime, but the Kings better in the third, better in the fourth quarter. As we can inform you that Lee Kai-yin is standing by courtside, getting ready to don the headsets for our post-game coverage. Crucially in the fourth quarter, 5 turnovers for the Kings, 3 by the Pilots. Asked about the key to the turnaround. Kyle saying the sleep was critical. But coach asked him and gave him the option, and Kyle insisted that he can finish things out. And now asked about the near triple-double in this one. Now saying that getting his life together while having his young family is something that he's learning to get used to, but it's been going well so far. And there's the Lee family watching from the stands. Now asked about the two-handed reverse. So, admitting that he would use the same footwork. I didn't think you guys came for very detailed dunk breakdowns, but there you go. Another victory for the Kings as they'll head to the next week's action. Stick around, fans, for the evening game where the Lioneers and Steelers will play down in Kaohsiung. We'll have one more break before wrapping things up from Xinzhuang. Wrapping things up here from Xinzhuang, where the Kings emerge victorious. I'm Ryan Chen, joined by Kaishu on the English broadcast here in the Plus League. This one's final score, 111 to 104. We'll bring you the full game combined stats. Not on the stat sheet though is fast break points. Kings only gave up 4 on that end. Meanwhile, the Pilots did not shoot the free throw very well, and that kind of opens things up to the final result. But in the end, 51 rebounds by the Kings. Pretty even on the assist side of things, but 20 turnovers. Pilots did accomplish what they wanted in terms of kind of disrupting the Kings on offense to a certain degree. They were able to finish things off at the line. Quincy Davis causing a lot of problems, and Amigo perfect 4 for 4 in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, that's right. Rebounding has always been the bane of existence for the Pilots all season long. And, you know, I think they did great offensively. You know, at the beginning of the game, it has been a very exciting offensive-minded game. Neither team could really like stretch out a lead, and it felt like the offense were just firing on all cylinders. You know, defense weren't really that bad. It's just that offense came to play. But towards the second half, you know, both teams ramped up their defensive efforts, and I think the Kings came out on top as we expected.
The next time the Pilots will play will be April 1st, not an April Fool game. Tip will be at 7:30 against the Lioneers. So on behalf of Aaron, on behalf of Taipei, Kai, the 6 teams in our league, thank you for watching this broadcast. We'll see you guys in the next one.
Tough weekend for us, and we were able to get the results we wanted.